Welcome to Living Under New Mexico Skies, brought to you by Parnall Law. In this episode, we meet Michael Gonzales, owner of Café and New Mexico Motor Events. You know, we went in planning to discuss Michael's huge Motorfest event this April at Expo New Mexico, but quickly discovered our conversation was going to cover some ground. Seattle, micro-roasted coffee, collector cars, and a passion for local and giving back to his community. Oh yeah, and we learn what a Boeing Baby is. All right, well, let's get started with this episode. Hey, Michael, want to welcome you to Living Under New Mexico Skies, man. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, so I always want to ask you, tell us a little something about yourself, man.
I'm just a guy who lives on a dirt road with my dog that builds hot rods. How's that?
Nice.
Does that work?
Perfect. That's a great setup. Thanks, dude. So, hey, okay, I did a little research, looked at your bio, and I saw Seattle and coffee, man. I mean, holy smokes. I mean, and I saw you were there in the early 90s. Tell us something about Seattle. I'm curious. You lived there, you know?
Absolutely. So I was born in Santa Fe, New Mexico, but we were one of those families that migrated to the Pacific Northwest during the aerospace boom. They dubbed us Boeing Babies because of Boeing Aerospace. So we were one of the thousands of families that relocated up there. I think the big offer in the auditorium to my dad was like $1.98 an hour back then. So he said, you know, it's kind of like Beverly Hillbillies. Hey, let's go. Pack up all the junk, throw the kid in the car, and they drove up there. And so I grew up there. Wow. I left in 93. Okay. But what an enchanting experience to grow up during all the changes there.
Yeah, and I know a thing or two about it. I think I told you a little bit earlier. I used to run Outside Magazine, and I ended up there. We had an office there.
Right.
And I didn't see it like you did because you were, in country. I saw it kind of from the outside, but the whole coffee thing. I mean, my God, it was like Silicon Valley with, software.
Yeah,
I mean, it just exploded.
Exactly.
So
started real small and then just took over.
So, did you work in the coffee business there or no?
I'm actually a lifelong food and beverage guy.
Wow.
So
very cool.
I had the opportunity to work in a lot of different concepts, and in some occasions work in close proximity with coffee and espresso. So I've learned right away as a fan of consuming coffee and espresso beverages, and then bartending and all that, because barista and bartender, they kind of model it's the same logic. So I had a really good opportunity to be immersively involved from the backside of the counter.
Well, okay, so now let's transition. So now you come back to New Mexico, I guess, in essence, and you open Café Bella. Tell us something about that, man.
Well, I live in Rio Rancho, which is a suburb of Albuquerque, and I was looking for some craft coffee, and I was having a hard time. I couldn't find any, and this kept on happening. So I was driving 45 minutes over by base. I think it was to Michael Thomas Coffee Roasters to get some really nice craft, single origin coffee that wasn't burnt, and then take it back. So it was, an hour and a half round trip, and I just had this epiphany. I said, there is no resource for this in this market.
Way to go.
I think there's a hole, and I think someone needs to open a cafe to do this.
And you know what? And it's kind of ironic, isn't it, with your growing up in Seattle?
Yeah.
I mean, it was in your blood, so to speak. I mean, there you were. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, the mentality in a lot of metropolitan areas, larger, key markets, is each neighborhood has a certain number of things.
Right.
That was one of the things about growing up in Seattle and the surrounding Puget Sound area. Each area had their own cafe or espresso shop. And, it's 2026? It's here now, but it wasn't 14 years ago when we opened.
Well, what's ironic about that? I've done a lot of things. I worked in the beer business for a while.
Nice.
It's like the old when the breweries had their bars in different corners, Milwaukee, Chicago, everywhere, Seattle. Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, Rainier Beer up in the Pacific Northwest. So that's really cool.
Exactly.
So micro roasting, man. Tell me a little bit about that, because now you said the key phrase, which was all about the single source,
single origin
coffees. Tell us about your micro roasting.
Well, so we've partnered with a local roaster, because that's what they do, and they source and roast the coffee to our specification. This means I'm not just ordering off a chart or sending them a text. what I do is I go in and we collaborate together in their coffee lab.
Nice. Wow.
And we figure out which beans are going to work for what we
Right.
do. And then if there's blends or mixes like the espresso and whatnot, that's signature to our company, we design those together and do cuppings and tastings and say, okay, that's it. Let's lock that in. So the products that we get at Café Bella, there may be some other wholesale accounts that have the same supplier, but none of their roasts are the same as ours.
Fine-tuned. That's the advantage
exactly.
of micro
It's
roasting.
unique. Yeah.
It's like microbreweries almost.
Exactly.
You know?
It is.
Wow.
Yes.
That is really cool.
Thanks.
So, was food always in the mix? Did you start just with coffee? Did you get into the food right away?
Well,
I know
yeah.
your reputation. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh,
I
that's
got
all
to
right.
get over there. The reputation's insane for your food, so
Great.
I got to
That's
get
awesome.
over there.
Yeah. You just got to make it by scratch
Yeah.
and use good ingredients.
Yeah.
So, you know, the food and coffee thing, I made a transition from being like this BMX kid student into needing to buy a car. So I went to my first food and beverage job to get a good job after school so I could save money to buy cars. See how it all works together?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's where
Yeah.
I'm going next. Perfect timing, dude. Cars
So, yeah.
and coffee, yeah. And I know, especially for you, and we'll talk a little bit about this, the cars and coffee thing, I was kind of like, why do I see them everywhere?
Yeah.
And I think I in my research I went on to the U.S. trademark site, and I'm not kidding you, dude. I saw at least 100, and most of them were dead. They let them die because they realized they weren't going to be the next Pat Riley, you know, with the three-peat.
Right.
They weren't going to make a fortune.
Right.
So so we're starting to transition into the whole thing with cars. What was your first love, coffee or cars?
I think it started with those little Hot Wheels when I was a little kid.
Yeah,
you know,
very
what
cool.
do they? That meme, 69 cent habit turns into whatever. Yeah, it's very much that with me.
Okay.
Yeah, a little kid on the floor doing
Very
burnouts.
cool.
You know.
Yeah. So talk about this. Okay, so now I know your reputation is growing like crazy, and you're wearing
thanks.
with your logo, Tacos and Rides.
Yeah.
You know, how did that transition? So now you've got this established coffee. You're doing custom micro roasted. You've got incredible food. You've got a following.
Right.
And now, how do the cars start to kind of evolve into this?
Well, yeah, that's a great question, and it kind of folds into the pillars that I created for the concept. So when I first started out, people were like, "Oh, you money, price, you know, discounts, BOGOs, all that," and I'm not about that. Being a lifelong food and beverage guy, it's about where does your business actually fit into the community? So, when we hire and when we started the concept, we wanted to build a business and a brand based off community, a sense of community, and a sense of culture.
Good, very good.
And based on how well we do both of those would be the byproduct of sales.
All right.
So after we established the cafe, we started noticing there was a need for like a little hangout vibe.
Oh, yeah.
So I was sitting there having coffee and working with one of my regular customers who was also an automotive enthusiast,
right.
and I said, "Hey, why don't we start doing events here?" And that's how it started. That's how it started.
It reminds me of American Graffiti in the parking lot of the local joint, you know, with all the cars rolling in.
Exactly.
So, very cool.
Exactly.
So now that leads to NM Motor Events.
Right.
And help me here. Is it New Mexico Motor Events, or you guys just use the short?
It's New Mexico Motor Events, but we have a series that's NM Motor Fest, which is an annual series. So it's all it's all New Mexico.
Yeah. So how many years have you been producing the events now with the cars?
Over a decade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is crazy. Being an ex-event guy, 50 to 60 a year.
Sometimes up to 70, depending on the year,
because
we do.
Yeah, you got coffee. Well, you don't have to sleep.
It's a lifestyle thing, you know. We do host Tacos and Rides 50 weeks a year, so that pumps our numbers beyond anybody else in this market.
Got it.
And we do it rain or shine. I got pictures of us in the snow, and people. It's basically a modern version. You mentioned the drive-ins.
Yeah.
So what we do at Tacos and Rides every Friday night, 7 to 9, is we offer an environment for people who are enthusiasts to come and hang out for just a couple hours on a Friday. It's not too early. It's not too late. Young people come.
Very cool.
People bring their children. People bring their parents, their grandparents. In the middle of the summer when the weather's at its peak, it kind of looks like a little street fiesta, street fair thing going on.
I'm coming out for that.
Yeah, it's totally fun. And then, it's an opportunity to find out what's being built, what's going on, meeting the builders, and talking about what events are next. It's a community thing. Yeah.
So okay, you have to have like a memory or two. What's one of your memories of one of your events that you just went, this is incredible? Was it when a particular builder came? Was it a specific car? Or was it anything that anything that strikes, kind of comes to mind?
Yeah, I had an opportunity to go to, because I visit other people's events. I had to go, I had the opportunity to go to an import enthusiast show, and I took my ratty old 700 horsepower shop truck to Santa Teresa, New Mexico. And during the day, I heard that there was going to be a two-step, which is a revving competition.
Right.
And I elected to get in it. And I was in the very tail end group, and I ended up staging. Competed with two other cars. I look over, and here's this $850,000 Barrett Jackson 6-wheel gas monkey Hummer called El General.
I think I've heard of that one.
And I told my son, I go, hey, son, I'm kind of worried about this. And he hops out and he looks at it and he hops back in. And I go, what's up? And he goes, don't worry about it. It's just a Hellcat, Dad. Anyway, so we battled off and I ended up winning and then befriending the owner. So you asked me what was the most the most unexpected surprise. Well, the following year, we did our first NM Motor Fest, and I was in communication with him. I said, wouldn't it be great for you to come up? And he said, me, my team, and El General will be there. So it was the first time he ever attended a New Mexico motor event. Inside, well, Santa Teresa is New Mexico, but I mean in Metro Central. And so people were just blown. They're like, I saw this thing on YouTube. I saw this thing on TikTok.
Way to go.
So he brought it up with his team, and we still communicate. He has many more vehicles now, and there's more things coming.
Well, we're going to talk about NM Motor Fest in a second, but how do you guys promote what you're doing? I mean, word of mouth now is probably huge. Referrals.
It is. The interacting, like I was talking about, how we talk about it at our events, but we also go to events. We have printed materials. A lot of electronic. Full disclosure, I own 24 different social media channels. So I kind of put my voice out there like a network.
Yeah, I want to talk to you, Mike. You control the coffee a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit of caffeine.
It's a lifestyle. No, so that's how we market. We do full media blasts, and then we do collaborations.
Very cool.
Then we go on TV. We do radio. We do some of the traditional things, but we do them in a slightly different manner.
Right.
We get a lot of organic news coverage at our events. Like we did the Toys for Tots here at this location, and the media came out after we had been on TV. So they're like, we got to cover this. So
Well, let's talk now. I mean, we're really excited here at Parnall Law. I want to talk about your big event. April 18th, New Mexico NM Motor Fest.
Correct.
State Fairgrounds, but you're going to be in the actual track, right?
We're the first.
Yes,
we're the first to occupy the infield of the race horse track for an automotive event.
Very cool.
Because they've resurfaced the interior ground.
Right.
It's now asphalt millings that have been rolled.
Oh, yeah.
So prior to that, I guess it was dirt and gravel and different.
I've seen that done before. It controls dust. It makes it so much nicer.
It's a great really platform
cool.
for putting a bunch of cool stuff on.
Yeah. Well, how many vehicles are you expecting?
We're going between 300 and 600. You never know until the last day.
I'm going to guess 600. But I'm just
so last year we had 300. We had 28 vendors and 1,000 ticketed attendees. So we're looking to double that, but we have 3 times the space.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Yeah, so we have the footprint for it.
And spring's early this year. It's going to be beautiful.
April should
weather,
be.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So you answered my question. So you had 1,000 last year. This year you're going to try and double that.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Well, we're going to help you. We're going
to
see what we can do with Parnall Law here to do it.
Let's do it. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, so take us through the day, man. So let's just say I come, let's bring my family, get there in the morning. How's the day kind of play out?
So it's a 12 to 5. It's open to the public. Okay. And we have brand activations from different entities. Of course, Parnall Law, but we have Rebel Road Hot Rod Garage. We have a 3-act stage performance starting with live music. And then we have the UNM Lobo official DJ and club DJ, DJ Spongy. And then we have the OG R&B DJ, DJ Hump on the end. Spongy's bringing a couple dancers, professional stage dancers. We have some drone balloons because we're celebrating 100th anniversary. We have 5 of them. Wow. So it's going to look like a circus.
Wow.
And then we doubled the amount of food and beverage vendors. So we have all the top trucks and trailers that we normally deal with, and those of that have come to our events know that we only deal with the top-notch ones.
This is going to go off. Now that was my next. Once again, we hit right into my next question. Was the Route 66, the Centennial?
Absolutely.
This is going to be huge.
Yeah,
I mean,
the fairgrounds is right on Route 66,
Central.
So you can come with your family.
Yeah.
You can show them the cars, and then you can slip into the beer garden or the cocktail
and then
lounge.
Get an Uber home. Get an Uber home.
It's all safe and everything's legitimate. But that's one of the advantages of working with a large venue like this. They have those kind of resources.
Yeah.
And we have the controls. We're going to have the state police out. We're going to have APD out there.
Good.
We have a verbal commitment that the APD lowrider is going to be there. And we have a lot of other feature surprises that are coming. The conversations that I'm having and the people that I'm meeting with, some of these activation brands that are local builders, they're like, okay, I need a 10 by 20, but I'm bringing 10 vehicles. That's one vendor. So, it's going to blow up.
Good thing you got all that room.
Yeah, we need it.
Very cool. So I have to ask, man, can you imagine, you're a car guy, think about what it was like to go from Chicago to L.A. on Route 66 in the 20s.
Yeah.
The 30s.
Love it. 2-lane road.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Dude, I've thought about that. And I hear stories about La Bajada Hill. Mm-hmm. How the native, like the locals, used to sit up on the hill
and watch them fail.
And offer to drive their cars over for a fee. Yeah. They would take their Model Ts.
It was treacherous.
A's.
It was treacherous.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, the history here in Route 66 across the country, when I was young, I had an opportunity to come back in the summers as an unassisted minor. And my family, extended family, would take me all over the state. And I always loved going in different sections of Route 66 and seeing the old, like pawn shops and road stops and novelties. It's amazing. It's a lot of history.
It really is.
It's a lot of history.
I can't even imagine. I mean, that driving them must have been.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's talk about your personal kind of. When I was doing my research, I saw a lot of your commitment to local, commitment to the community.
100%.
And dude, I have to bring this one up. Commitment to causes, giving back to your community. Yep. I saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, 2,245 pounds of food in one day.
That was this year. We've done more than that the prior year. But we had a mess up with one of our contributors.
Wow.
But and that's not like build up and store it at the cafe for a month. That's a one hit.
You got it out there.
And we make them carry it to the end venue. We used to put them all in one truck, but then it started getting crazy. So we said, hang on to your donations, and then we have St. Felix Pantry come and bring the box truck.
That's really cool.
And we've been getting some really good. We used to start out with like raffles to try and motivate people, but we've done away with that the past 2 years, and it's been extremely successful.
We recently did an event with Roadrunner here in town.
Nice.
I want to get involved. I want to come whenever when you're
nice.
doing that.
January Cans and Cars Cruise. We'll be calling for you.
We're going to do it. Yeah, man.
You got to show up with some cans though.
Look, I don't want to tell too many stories out of school, but there used to be a judge in Santa Fe.
Nice.
When you got a traffic infraction, I went to court one day. Driving through a little area too fast. Yeah. And here's what the guy used to do: no fines. No, he would say, all right, 4 cans of yams,
right?
Frozen turkey,
and
they got rid of them. But for years I was laughing. So I'm in there, and he
That's
goes,
awesome.
"All right, you're a big bicyclist. I want you to do a bicycle safety event. And by the way, throw in 2 cans of yams." I was like,
just on the top.
What the hell? So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty
That's
crazy.
Awesome.
So,
I like.
Hey, man, Michael, tell us, local, man. How important is local to you?
I think, after working for a large portion of my working years for large corporations and learning systems and procedures, how to run statements and train and onboard and offboard, when I decided to open my own business, that's when it really hit that there is way more independent businesses than there are corporates and large entities. And when you go and travel around the country or the world, it's the independent places that are the real flavor.
Yes. And it's really interesting. I'm not going to mention a large coffee corporate entity.
There's a ton of them.
Yes, but what I wanted to say is, you beat them every time. There's something about the local and what you're doing.
It's a different demographic. Yeah.
With your coffees, with the roasting, with everything, man. Yeah. And then you throw in the food. I mean, come on. I go to some place to buy some expensive coffee, and I get a plastic container with a hard-boiled egg and I gave away who I'm talking about. No, just kidding.
It's different.
You, man.
Yeah.
So, Hey, we're really psyched, dude. April
Thanks.
18th over at the fairgrounds.
And then Motorfest 2026.
We're going to be there, brother. And
100th
thanks, man.
anniversary.
Parnall Law is really excited. So, and I got to get out to some of your events. I'm going to come by and
Come
see
on
you
out.
guys.
We're
I
happy
want
to partner with
tacos
Parnall Law.
and
They're
rides,
good
so
supporters.
thanks.
Thank you so much
Well,
for that.
Take care of yourself, Michael.
All right.
All the best.
You take care.
Buddy.
Thank you very much.